Hello everyone, ClankerSkits here, and I'm here with another Animal Company video today. Let me check what's in here. Okay, just my goop. Okay, well, ClankerSkits here. I'm gonna do a tutorial for Animal Company. So all of you who have the game, but ain't got no idea how to play it anyway at all, and you're literally stuck moving around like this because you don't know how to move, I'm gonna show you how to move flawlessly, just like this. You know, bounce on stuff, bounce off the walls, you know, all that cool jazz. And yeah, I'm just gonna explain how to play it. But before we get to that, make sure to like and subscribe on this video. I get that some of you guys out there, or maybe on like your dad or mom's account, and they don't want you subscribing to random channels, or you're just on a guest account and simply don't want to sign in. That's totally fine. You have the exception. But everyone who's watching this, please like and subscribe. So now that we have that out of the way, I should probably get to explaining. So we're actually gonna do basic movement first. Let me put this away. I know this is very disorganized, but we're gonna do something first, which is spawn. Whenever you load up Animal Company, you should actually spawn on this couch or right here. And now that you're here, you don't know how to move, right? So let me demonstrate with this mirror, okay? So if you play Gorilla Tag, this would be really easy, or maybe even Scary Baboon. But it's just like gorilla movement if they move their arms, you know? So let's say you want to take your right controller, move it down until your hand in the game hits the ground. Take the other hand, move it forward, and now you can turn. Keep doing this to walk forward. See, look, it's very easy. You can enable snap turn by pressing this, not this button, but the 3 lines button on your left controller to enable snap turn. But yeah, now you know how to walk, we should get how to bounce. Bouncing is very easy. You can use one hand to bounce repeatedly, just like this. Whatever one you like more. Or you could do 2 hands to make it even, like a pattern. So double, 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 however you feel doing it. Or you can do a big jump with both hands. So how to jump is very easy. So it's just like walking, but instead you're not moving at all. So bouncing is like this. You take your right hand, or whatever hand you feel comfortable with, you put it on the ground, you force it, and then you just keep doing that, and then you bounce. And then if you do it hard enough with one hand, you can get pretty high like that. And it's just the same thing if you do it both ways. Instead, you'll do it at a time. And if you want a big jump, watch you're going to take both hands and slam it onto the ground. And then as you can tell, I went flying like that. So now you know how to walk and jump. You should probably know how to run. Now obviously you don't have legs in this game, so you're like, oh, Clanker, what do you mean run? Well, running is like this. It's just moving really, really fast. Instead, taking these long strides like this, we're taking very short steps. As you can tell, you know, it's not exactly the fastest, but it's still something, okay? So now that you know how to run, walk, and jump, you should actually know how to use this first. So now you know what spawn is, and you know how to walk, run, and jump. First thing you want to do is come over to this computer terminal. You want to make sure that it shows room.exe. We'll get into all this other stuff later in the video. First, you know, it's just like a straight up normal keyboard. There's numbers, there's letters, space, slash, and this button. It straight up just enters that button. There's the backspace / delete. There's the enter. There's a program, which we'll get into that later. Then there are these two. This is join named, no FF, meaning no friendly fire, so you can't be killed. And then there's join random, where you can be killed. I recommend coming over here and just slapping a big code together like this, that no one will find. So, you know, it's a very slim chance people are actually entering this. See, it's just big and long like that. No one will ever know. So that's cool. That's how you enter codes. If you're a beginner, just like you are, because you're watching this tutorial, if you're a beginner, do not click the join random. If you want to play with other people other than your friends, you want to click join random no FF, because you cannot be killed, and this is where trading, goop machines, and mining are actually at. So now you know what codes are, how to run and jump, and what spawn is. We're gonna head over to the shop. This is whenever you're gonna buy your basic items for adventuring. I did not make a brand new account because I don't feel like doing that. But whenever you spawn into the game, you can look at your watch here, which we'll get into later detail. But you noticed these are your nuts. You have 100 whenever you start out in the game. I've already played the game a little bit, so I have 16,000. You should have 100 nuts here, 0 company coins, and 5 research points. Nuts are how you buy items. So you see there's the little nut icon right there, and then there's another one. So we're gonna put our hand right on this little dome on whatever you want, and then you're gonna grip it, pull towards you, and you'll see that I used some of my money. And then you can put these backpacks on your back by reaching over behind you and pressing the grip button. The reason why I like using the grip button is because if you use the A button, you can grab it or drop it. But if you're not behind your back, you'll be dropping it. So basically what I mean is if you grab with the A button, reach behind your back, but you don't do it correctly, it'll fall. But if you use the grip button, you notice that it's not falling and I can grab it. So I can put it behind my back, just like that. So if you use the grip button, you don't drop it and it stays on your back. Now that we're on the topic of the shop, you should actually know what items you start out with the game. Now that you know that, I'll get into these two things, but all you need to know about the watch right now is nuts. Your nuts are the currency that you buy items with. So let's say you want to buy this stick. Obviously it costs 0 nuts, but if this costed $1 or 1 nut exactly, it will remove 1 nut from your account. So yeah. So if you have 100 nuts, which you start out with, and you buy this bone, but you don't start out with the bone, you have to unlock this. But let's say you did start out with it, grab it, takes away 25 nuts. You buy that for 25 nuts. So nuts are the currency that you buy items with. Next are actually the categories. Categories go along with recent, so these are all the recent items that you bought. Favorites, you can favorite items by, okay, let's say I like this stick. I can take my finger, hover over this, and then I'll favorite it, and I can unfavorite it too if I really want to. So now you see this stick is favorited. So meaning I can click onto this favorites tab and it'll show everything that I've unlocked and favorited. Next is the bags and gadgets. As it suggests, there are bags here. You start out with a small red bag, which is used for putting items inside of the bag. And then there's all these other bags, but you don't unlock those. Then there's bags and gadgets, lights, which are light sources like the flashlight, the glow stick, but you don't unlock these two yet. You start out with this. Then it's bags and gadgets, movement. These are all movement items that you can unlock via research points. And then there's bags and gadgets, tech, which is all tech items. And then there's recon. Next is weapons. There's a lot of weapons in the game. There are weapons melee. It shows a whole bunch of melee weaponry. Shows weapons explosive. All the explosives. This does fire damage. Then there's weapons ammo. It shows like arrows, special arrows, roping for another gadget, bullets, RPG shells, shotguns shells, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Then there are projectiles like, bullets, RPGs, and shotguns. All this jazz. Then there are consumables, which have food. food heals you, but if it's a normal food, something like the MRE, which you don't start out with, but if it's normal food, something like the MRE, it should just re-heal you, but the MRE makes you faster and jump higher. We're gonna ignore this burrito because you don't unlock it. Then the consumable sauce, which do special gimmicks that you can't have without any other food item. But again, you don't unlock this stuff. Then there are construction, which are construction items. There are planks, goop, which goop is used for stuff. Metal plates, metal balls, wood pallets, metal rods. And then there's construction gadgets, which have robotic arms, robotic heads, remote controls, and joysticks. Then there are the toys icon, which is just random stuff that you don't actually use inside the game, and they're just there for fun. So now that we've gone over the shop area, we should probably explain how to actually get loot. So first, with your money, you want to buy this red bag, because this is the first item that you actually start with the game. Then, you want to buy a flashlight. Flashlight costs $49, the red bag costs $29. Then you want to come over to weapons and buy a stick. Now that you have these items, you want to head over to an area. Which, the area that I like to start up the game in is actually mines. These actually are locations that you can go get loot inside of the game. These locations have monsters which obviously can kill you or hurt you at the very least. Now we should probably actually go over the ores in the game. The ores in the game consist of these purple ones which give you research points. Again, we'll go over research points later in the video, just like company coins. So, whatever you want to do, you just want to mine it, just like that. Maybe you'll get something, maybe you won't. This is mine, so as you can tell, it goes kind of deep. But I don't want to buy anything expensive. So let's say there's something like cheap up here that you can one-shot. It'll be really good. So, down here, this is copper. You see that orange? That's copper right there. So you can jump down and fall onto these edges, which then you'll see iron and silver. Now that you've seen this, whenever you mine with a stick, you notice that these ores can pop out. You want to take the bag from your back, grab the ore, open the bag with the Y button, or the B button, I think it is. Yeah. Y button on the left controller can open the bag, or the B button on the right. You want to take the ore and then drop it right above the bag, and as you can tell, it drops in there. But this isn't like any ordinary bag, it's like the cartoon style bag. So, if you put anything in there first, so like, let me try explaining. So if you, let's say, put this flashlight in there first, and then put but the iron ore in there, the iron ore will come out first. So I put this flashlight in here, I'll grab the ore, drop it in, and then the ore comes out first. So whatever you put in there first will come out last. So yeah, that's how backpacks work. Always get this stuff. But you'll soon notice that sticks can break. Also, you just noticed that a big purple gem came onto my screen whenever I broke that purple ore. And now, this is on to our next thing. Research points. As I said, you start out with 5 research points inside of the game. Research points are what you use to unlock new items inside of the tech tree. Although the tech tree is no longer used for items, it is now used for skills, which is something that I'll have to go over too. But as I say, research points are what give you items. Well, you get research points from ores, the research point ores, and yeah. Now you may be noticing that I don't have a weapon anymore and I'm kind of trapped, but you can use these zip lines if you ever try, if you ever get stuck, you can use these zip lines that take you back to the very top of the mine. Or the very top of the mine shaft. Now you can work your way back to where you were. Now you're back at spawn, or lobby, whatever you want to call it. Now we're going to discuss the next thing, which is sell machine. Sell machine is the area that you take out your bag and open it and drop whatever items you got along the way. Obviously, I got this silver, iron, and I got this copper. So now that your items are inside of there, I'm going to click these buttons. And then if you hit the right button, this will close up, it'll make a sound, and it'll show how much money you got, which is how you get money in the game. Money can be earned via selling items that you've unlocked, which don't give you anything good. So let's say I want to sell my flashlight. You notice that the flashlight costs $49, but whenever I sell it, it only gives like $5 or $6. Yeah. So, but I have an upgrade what gives me extra money, so really that'd only be like $2 or something. So obviously not very good. So don't try selling these items that you can buy. Try selling the loot, not items. But now that I've explained what research points are, kinda, let me find something that's cheap that I can buy with 1 research point. Yeah. So if you have like something that only costs 1 research point, you should buy it. But whenever you get 1 research point, you could probably buy anything from here almost. I recommend buying the crowbar with your 1 research point. Whenever you buy the crowbar with your 1 research point, the research point will be disappearing, and you used it to unlock the crowbar. You can now buy the crowbar at any time if you choose to unlock it. If you choose to unlock the crowbar will not break, and you can use it forever. And it actually has a better mining, and you can hit enemies with it, aka monster. Now that we got known over what research points are, kinda, we should go on to the next thing, which is company coins. I said that I would discuss company coins later, and now I'm doing that exactly. Company coins are the things that you can get from mining company coins, or coming over here to spawn. You see this toilet area with this gold thing? I'm gonna grab this and tuck it down, and this will reward you with 50 company coins. Company coins are the things that you buy cosmetics with. Company coins can be used to buy costumes or characters. Company coins can also be used to buy hats, accessories, etc. As you can tell, you need to have a lot of company coins, kinda, to buy literally anything. So I recommend saving up. Company coins are used to buy cosmetics, as I said, but they can also be used, if you come over here, through this area, it can also be used to buy research points, which, as I said, research points or what you unlock items with. Again, something that I forgot to say, research points can be bought with company coins, or you can get research points down from the mines by hitting those purple crystals. Research points, every 16 hours you will get a research point guaranteed. So every 16 hours you will have a research point, but you just have to go mine one. But if you wait long enough, you can stack up to 4 research points, meaning that if you wait long enough, you'll have 4 guaranteed research points. But you can also have a small chance to get research points naturally, meaning that you don't have to have a guaranteed research point to get research points. As I said, you can buy research points, use research points to unlock new items to help you get loot. Now, the next thing we should go over is the watch. The watch is how you see your currency, aka nuts, which is what you buy items with, company coins, which is what you buy research points or cosmetics with, and research points to buy items with. On the watch, you can actually see your health, which is this little bar right here. You can see your weight, which is how much weight you're carrying. If you have something small like this, you'll notice that it goes up, but if you drop it entirely, there's nothing. But if you buy something, you notice that there's your weight. But If you're holding something in your hand, it gives you more weight than putting it on your back. So that's weight. If you have more weight, it doesn't do anything. There's also this compass, which I don't know what it's actually used for, but if you guys are creative enough, you can use it for stuff. There's also the channels icon. If you're inside of a public lobby and you hear kids screaming into your watch, then I get it, you're annoyed. But if you use your left controller, which is what your watch is on, and you press down the left thumbstick, you can switch channels, meaning that if someone is on, let's say, channel 2, only people on channel 2 can hear you, and if you speak into your watch just like this, hello, 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 just like that, if people are on channel 2, only people on channel 2 can hear you, and you can only hear people that are on channel 2. People don't use channels a whole lot, but it can be very effective if you don't want to hear kids screaming into the watch, which can get very loud. Next is this little dial on the watch. If you move your left thumbstick just like this, you can move it up to report a player. You want to hold it like this, there will be this red box. You can report anyone, A for griefing whenever griefing for some reason, or something like that, or saying inappropriate things, or scamming people, or even just modding without, the developer's consent. If you move it to the left exactly, it will be a mini sonar on your watch. If you move it down, this is where the settings are located. Settings are how you have arachnophobia mode, which means that spiders will appear less spidery. You can appear offline, mute your microphone, mute megaphones, which is what I recommend doing because it's kind of annoying. There's also the server list. You show what the server code is, how many members, how many band people are on there, and how many people are actually in it. Snap turn, you can turn it on to smooth turn if you really want to. So yeah. So now you can do this, although I don't recommend it because it's kind of scary. So this is what your watch does, but if you move it to the right, which is what it's naturally on, you can view your currency. Now that we've gone over your watch, I think the last thing that I should go over is the computer. The computer is where you join codes and enter promo codes. If you click the program button, which is this green button, you'll see promo.exe. This is where you can enter in promo codes that the developers have put out. Tune.exe is how you list the commands that you need. If you type in help, you can view commands and do basic coding. Yeah, available commands. ls to list files, and yeah. So I'll just type in ls, and then data slash, I'll put data slash. We should probably, let's do read me dot md. Yeah, unknown command. So there's a whole lot of stuff to do, but if you click it one more time, you'll see pair.exe. Now this only works if you have your MetaQuest account linked up, or if you only have an iPhone. This does not work with Android stuff. You can see your pairing code and how long it expires. So yeah. One more thing is the game modes. This is adventure mode, which is where you gather loot and buy items for features point. Broke AF mode is you'll lose money to regain it. Arena mode, which we'll go in real quick. This is where the PvP style of the game actually comes in. If you play alone, you can select whatever team you're on, start the game, and yeah, you can figure out how to do that on your own by asking people. Back to the adventure mode. There's weird game mechanics that you should probably note, but mainly, if you play alone and you have a friend, you can understand how to play the game. One more thing that will go before I go goodbye is Goop. Goop is where you build items. If you find Goop, it's really good. because goop is very useful for making creations. If you have something that you ever want to make, just say whatever you want to make to yourself, and just know. Oh, I forgot. There's that. I'll go over that in a second. But if you unlock the goop, or go find goop, or ask people for goop, you can use it for random stuff. So actually, I'm gonna just, let's say you did unlock the crowbar, and you managed to get goop from someone. Let's say that you want to have a light source. You can put the goop onto the crowbar, take whatever light source you have unlocked, put it onto the crowbar, pick up the crowbar, and now you can turn on the light without even having to use it. And now you can hit things and use it as a little, like a little probe, if you will. Throw it into a dark area and it lights up the entire place without you having to go into it. And if you use the glow stick, which actually has 0 gravity, you don't lose it. So obviously, if I throw the crowbar, it's over there, but the glow stick doesn't go flying away. Yeah. Goop is how you build random items, construct them, and all that other cool jazz. One adventure that I've made before is called the hook light. This is the hook shot. This is the item where you can use to grapple on to surfaces like the concrete, wood, and the snow, or the ground, really. You cannot grapple onto metal, as you can tell. This is, rusty metal. You can't grapple onto that. This is like a weird TV screen. You can't grapple into there. Not possible. The hook light is an adventure that I made before. It's actually very, very useful. So if you have something like the glow stick, you can put it onto your hook shot, turn it on, and then go hook shot around with the light on you. Just like the crowbar, you can turn it off easily. So yeah, goop is very, very useful. And goop can stick to anything. Literally anything. You may be wondering, how is this stuff loading? These are called hip slots. You can unlock hip slots via the tech tree, which is one more thing that we'll go over. The tech tree is an area where you can unlock perks and new items. Although I don't feel like going over the perks exactly, let's just say this is how you unlock perks. Research points, you get research points from company coins or waiting for them, and you can use research points to A, buy new items from over there, or B, you can use them to unlock perks. Perks are very useful because they help you out in game. One more thing that I'll go over before ending this video is the stash. Stash is where you hold your items, but whenever you start in the game, you only have these 4 spaces, and you have to use your nuts or company coins to buy more. Again, one more thing that I go over, I know I've said that like 10 times, but if you die and you have a friend, you'll turn into a ghost. And your friend can take your ghost and put it inside of your dead body, and then you come back to life. So yeah, if you have a friend, it's very helpful. If you guys like this kind of complicated tutorial, please let me know by liking and subscribing. See you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Clanker out.